Okay, so today's update was I did 4 cull dates today. It just so happens that I didn't need to cull any of the nests that I'm working on that I worked on today because they're all special projects that get space in the Foster's cage. Although it's looking like we're going to have less space in there than I hoped because the 4th hen is not being allowed to get into a box. But I'm working on it. We'll see what happens. So I did Luna today. She had 3 embryos, but not really. She had 6 eggs. One of them had an embryo in it, but it had cracked. It had a dent in it, and the embryo had died. So that doesn't count as infertility. Then she had 5 eggs left after that. One of them was clearly blank. One of them might be another embryo, and then the other 3 were all embryos. So she may well end up with 4 embryos out of 5 eggs, and the 6th egg was fertile. It just cracked. I've had a lot of cracked eggs this time because they were on medications that blocked their calcium absorption before I bred them. So I've been working to up their calcium, but I have had several eggs, 3 or 4 eggs that were too soft and broke. I've had a few that have cracked in the nest, which is also an indication that they were too soft. So that was Luna. Old Malachite and Lava up here had 5 out of 6 fertile, and that 6th egg may end up being fertile. My Henry and Evangeline down here, my mauve pair, 6 out of 6 fertile eggs. Good Lord. Here's the one I'm really worried about. These 2 had 5 eggs because the 2nd egg that she laid broke. Again, I predicted that we would have low calcium. So, but she has 5 remaining eggs, and only 2 of them appear to have embryos. That could mean that embryos are fizzling in the shell, which would mean the hen is sick, and her sickness is getting inside the eggs. Actually, I guess it could mean the cock was sick too, since his stuff is down there too. So I'm a little worried about them. I mean, it could be that the first egg, the shell stayed formed, but it's too porous because of lack of calcium. So it kind of depends on how this plays out. If she's getting bacteria inside the eggs because of illness, the last few embryos will die out. And then I'll know they're sick. If one of those blank eggs turns out to be a brand new egg that's growing an embryo and I can see it in the next few days and all 3 of those embryos remain healthy and strong and developed, then I can probably lay it at the door of the calcium shortage, causing the first few eggs to be non-viable because the shells were too porous or too soft or something like that. So I will double check them again in a few days. And that's it, except for, so I moved that that box all the way down next to the other hen. And the dominant hen seems to have decided it's probably kind of enough away from her so that she's not going to bother with it. Here they are right here. She's out. She's also finally sitting on her eggs. So she's not staying out very much, but she's out right now looking in the box, trying to decide, chasing the other hen away, but she's not nearly as serious about it as she has been. See how she just chases that other hen. So I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, well, maybe I need to just get another box and just have a million boxes hanging on the cage. But I think it seems that she just left. She went and dove back into her box again. So the only female that's out right now is the little yellow face hen. So we'll see if she manages to get in this in the next few days. If not, maybe I'll have to go buy another box and hang it over on the far side, or just make a whole row of them, or I don't know. But this is not worth it to me if I can't have 4 breeding pairs in this cage. So this little girl failed to breed last time as well. If she fails to breed this time, I will get rid of her and replace them with a new pair. and if I can't get all 4 pairs to breed next time around, I sell them off because they are taking up enough space. So if only 3 of them breed, I may as well just be breeding budgies in there, or more cockatiels or something. So my cockatiels they are breeding, but there's a whole lot of no cockatiels in here because they are co-incubating the eggs. Now there's only 4 eggs in there. I cut them down because I don't want to stress them. I only had to cull 1 egg though, the one culled itself. But I don't want to open the box because Zoo is hand-tamed, which means he's a little messed up in the head about the distinction between people and birds. So he loves me and everybody else whenever he's not breeding, and actually is kind of abusive to his hen, which she's kind of taken up plucking. So I think that's part of it. It's because her cock does not treat her right. He is totally unresponsive to her when they're not actually breeding. The minute I give him a enough box, he goes, oh yeah, I'm a bird and this is my mate. And then he starts treating her right, and he's a great mate and a great father, right up until I put him back out in the flight cage, and then he hates her again. So I think this is going to be the last time I breed him. He's also nearly 10 years old now. And I'm going to and she's much younger. This is his second mate. So I think I'm going to get her a new man going forward and just let him live out in the cage. Because I'm really against hand-raising birds, and this is why. He's not really sure what he is. And he's really not sure what I am either. So if I open the top of that box, he will go into absolute attack mode because he thinks I'm a competitor trying to steal his nest box with his mate. So I can't open it and show you what's going on in there unless he's out in the cage, which he almost never is. So we have to wait until babies start to hatch, and then they have to come out to get food for the babies, and then we'll be able to see what's going on in there. So, okay, so that's it. The cockatiels are in there. It's happening, but we can't see anything just yet. So look at that little girl sleeping up there. I don't know. She's acting like she's depressed or something, which wouldn't be surprising since she's the only hen in there that isn't allowed to breed. And in fact, her cock has started trying to steal someone else's hen because his hen doesn't have a nest box. So I don't know. She's not working. So if she doesn't put this together, then I will get rid of her and get a different hen for next time. But if I can't get 4 pairs to breed in this area, then it is not worth giving them all this space for a bunch of regular parakeets. That will be that.